come to Iceland for the splendor and for the vivid proof of the effectiveness of COVID-19 vaccines.
How many people have died in this country during this wave from COVID?
None.
Zero.
Dr. Þorólfur Guðnason is Iceland's chief epidemiologist.
I think the widespread vaccination in Iceland has for sure prevented serious consequences of the infection.
I feel grateful, and I think it's a testimony to this population.
Dr. Paul Mathiasson is the CEO of the largest hospital in Iceland, Landspítali National University Hospital. He says a nightmare scenario during this fourth and worst wave of COVID has been averted because of his fellow Icelanders.
If it hadn't been for the vaccinations in our population, I think it would have been catastrophic.
Health officials say nobody has died from COVID in the small country since May. 30 died before that, almost all before the vaccine was available. And just how vaccinated is this nation now?
If you look at the age bracket 16 years and older, it's just above 90%. If you take from 12 and over, that's 84%.
Superlative percentages. Finding people in the US who haven't gotten the vaccine is easy. Here, not so easy.
Have you gotten vaccines?
Yes, of course, yes.
Of course. Why do you say of course?
Just because it's like our civil duty to get vaccinated.
Civic duty. Do you have friends who haven't gotten vaccinated?
No.
We go into the hospital's Gorgeisladeild, the Icelandic word for intensive care unit, because the high number of vaccinations also means fewer patients, despite the surge of infections.
Last year, before the COVID vaccines were available to the Icelandic public, there were typically between 65 and 75 COVID patients in this hospital. On this day, there are 18 COVID patients.
Some are very ill. 3 of them are in the section of the ICU behind this black and yellow tape, but patient numbers do continue to drop.
It was absolutely crazy last year, but it's more calm at the moment. There are fewer patients and they get well sooner than they did in the first wave.
Notably, the U.S. State Department issued its most serious COVID advisory earlier this month, stating, "Do not travel to Iceland." Iceland's COVID surge is for real, but so is the sense of optimism.
I think we are sort of a proof of this principle that the vaccination is working wonders.
The news can be a lot. There's a lot of good out there and a lot of fearless kids and families putting kindness into action in their own communities. But the first step towards helping is understanding, and that's where we come in.
Everyone wants to understand the world, which is why we're bringing the news to your family the NowThis way.
Each week we'll talk about the important issues, the positive progress, and the unsung heroes who are changing things for the better.
With the weekly YouTube series, podcast, and newsletter,
we'll explore the uplifting stories that inspire us
and dive deep to understand our changing world together
on NowThis Kids.